Let's face it, we live so much of our lives online, it's basically our second home. But have you ever stopped to think about what it really means to be a citizen there? Well, today, that's exactly what we're digging into: the rights, the responsibilities, and yeah, the surprising risks of being a cyber citizen. Let's get into it.
You know, our whole digital life is built on this massive paradox. On one hand, technology gives us these incredible tools for empowerment and connection, right? But on the other hand, the very same systems can be flipped and used for surveillance and control. And understanding this tension, well, that's absolutely key to navigating our modern world.
And that leads to a really critical question. One posed by author Heidi Boghosian. We're constantly told that these platforms connect us. But what if they're also quietly turning us from active citizens into passive subjects, where our data is the real product? That's a powerful idea, and something to keep in the back of your mind as we go through this.
So to really get a handle on this, we have to look at the challenges head-on. Let's break down the actual risks we're all facing online and see how our freedoms are being reshaped, a lot of the time without us even noticing.
You see, these risks kind of build on each other, like a domino effect. It all starts with the erosion of our civil liberties through mass surveillance, the huge-scale collection of our data. Then, that surveillance is used to fuel the manipulation of our behavior and beliefs through super-targeted ads and misinformation. And this whole situation is made even worse by this growing digital divide, the gap between those who have access and those who don't, which just creates deeper inequality. All of it pushes us toward that biggest risk of all, becoming passive data subjects instead of active citizens.
But hey, this is not a story of doom and gloom. Not at all. The source material is really clear that this is a call to action. We actually have the power to reclaim our role and actively shape the digital world we want. So let's see how we can actually do that.
So what's the alternative here? It's becoming a cyber citizen. And this isn't some passive title you get, it's an active one. It means you're using digital tools to protect your freedoms, you're demanding accountability from these big institutions, and you're claiming your seat at the table when the decisions are being made about how tech runs our society.
And this brings us right back to that double-edged sword we talked about. The exact same platforms used for control can become incredibly powerful tools for change. In our hands, they can be used to mobilize entire communities and actually strengthen democracy. So you see, the key isn't the tool itself, but how we decide to use it.
Okay, so what does this look like in practice? Let's get into the toolkit, a really clear action plan for what we can do as individuals, as professionals, and as a society as a whole.
It all starts with you, with your own digital self-defense. So, step 1, learn the tools of the trade. We're talking about using VPNs to protect your connection, encrypted messaging apps to keep your conversations private, and password managers to lock down your accounts. Step 2 is all about limiting your data footprint, so be critical about those app permissions and really think about what you share. And finally, step 3 is practicing digital literacy, just getting better and better at spotting misinformation and manipulative content when you see it.
But our responsibility doesn't just stop with our own self-defense. Professionals in pretty much every field need to be advocating for ethical AI and staying on top of digital rights. And educators, they have a huge, crucial role to play, both in integrating digital citizenship into their lessons and in fighting to close that digital divide so every single student gets access to these tools.
And finally, real, lasting change means we have to think bigger. We're talking systemic level. We need policymakers to get serious and establish strong data protection laws and demand transparency from governments. And as a society, we can support digital rights organizations and really insist that innovation always balances ethics with progress, making sure that technology serves democracy and not the other way around.
So what's the ultimate takeaway here? It's that the very definition of citizenship itself is expanding. It's not just about a passport or voting anymore. Today, real citizenship is also about having control over our own data and actively participating in shaping how technology governs our society. Which leaves us all with one final, essential question to think about. As you log off today and go about your digital life, just ask yourself, are you simply a passive user of these technologies, or are you making the choice to be an active, engaged cyber citizen? Because really, the future of our digital world depends on your answer.